let me introduce you to my business partner, Kate.
Have a hope.
But my bigger concern is just...
I work with women on the ground level.
She's a well-known coach around the world, and she's also known for helping her clients take their yearly income to their monthly income. So just listen to our last call, right? So we were basically just talking about what should we call this company, like we discussed in the last Journal to the Top. Basically, we wanted to brainstorm on what it was, and she was dropping gems from just this simple conversation. So listen up and you'll learn a thing or two. You may want to take notes.
So when it comes to names, I guess, right, the first thing I was kind of thinking of is things that resonate with you, right? Like, for instance, I've got my company called Content Flows, and the word flows really resonates with me, but it had nothing to really do with content. But then I kind of got it to go together. What comes to mind when you think about like this automation agency?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously AI has to be in the name, I think, because
right.
when it comes to names for things, for me, it's trying to like find something that it is what it says on the tin, in a way, so people just immediately know what it is. Like when it's too cryptic, it can be a bit like, well, what is it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Too clever with names, right? And too creative. So, but then I think also it's nice to play with words, either bring something like humorous into it or meaningful, in terms of that. So, so I mean, with this, I guess the word scale comes, to mind in terms of what we're thinking about helping people with.
Okay.
So, yeah, like AI scale or scaling AI or something, kind of just getting started with that. Like that's not the final piece, but yeah, that's kind of
right
in a very simple sense. Like it sounds very obvious, but like that's what comes up. But then I love words like flow, and my dating program is called The Conscious Feminine, because that's like what it is, and it's about being conscious as a feminine. So I guess it's important as well when we're thinking about who is this for,
right,
like does
people that want to scale, right?
Yeah and
right.
Maybe it's kind of thinking about the outcome for our clients, like the people we're going to help. Like what is it, what are those words like ease, flow, I
love the word flow.
Yeah,
I'm such a flow guy.
Same. Ease and flow, like my mantra.
Right.
Life in general.
Okay.
So
AI. So we got AI, scale, flow. So we got that. I'm trying to think. Also, is there any feminine words that come to mind, like that you really resonate with too? Just so we can maybe have a pot of things to pour into AI to see how AI can help us create an AI company.
Yeah, sure. I mean, goddess is a great word. Like, divine is a nice word as well. Like thinking about stuff on a more of a spiritual axis. And I guess thinking about the whole like yin-yang thing as well is a nice thing to think about if we're, if this is going to be for men and women, which it is. So, and balance, thinking about like business balance, right? How can we help people have a more balanced life, like have time and money and freedom, right? So freedom is a big word for me, I think, as well. Like freedom as a way of life is really important to me. Like feeling a sense of freedom and autonomy over my time. Consciousness again is another one for me that's like really big intention, not just like grinding away, but actually being really intentional about where I put my time, where I put my money, where I put myself, so yeah, those are some other words I think are really cool.
I love that. I think that another idea sparked in my mind was because like even what we're saying right now, like I'm just going to use the audio of this conversation and I'm going to turn the audio into basically a name through the audio. So that's going to be pretty fun. And I think that In your mind too, I got an idea of like who the archetype is or like the ideal client is. In your mind, can you just say like maybe one ideal client or like what do they look like?
Definitely a badass. Like that's the word. That
Okay.
You know, like in the sense of someone who's like a super high achiever and gets shit done and like is wanting to move fast. And there's a certain personality type, I think, that I enjoy working with anyway as a coach, you know, whether that's like helping them with love, helping them with money, whatever the thing is. Yeah, so that's another word that comes to mind. Warrior is a great word. I love that image of a warrior, like, you know, someone who's overcome stuff and like overcome the odds. That's definitely my story. And I know like a lot of my clients take inspiration from seeing all the things I've worked through and overcome. I think miracles as well is a big thing for me. And like, I guess now we're starting to tap into maybe some of that law of attraction stuff and mindset stuff, you know, which
right
is super cool, manifesting stuff and law of attraction, which definitely exists. But I think as well, like in my experience, you know, we create our own luck to some extent, right?
Right.
By
Agree.
the actions we take, even the decision to get up and do something or go somewhere and like taking that time to like tune in with ourselves and being our best selves, regardless of like what mood we're in or how tired we are or how we feel, you know. So so yeah, that should be in the pot as well, I think.
So almost like a conscious entrepreneur too.
Yes.
You know, like it's one of my best friends, his name's Anton. He has a company that he created, which was a social media marketing agency, but he only worked with spiritual leaders. Like that was his entire business model. And I watched his company be so much more successful than any other social media marketing agency I saw. Yeah. And he had clients paying a lot of money and they loved him because those conscious entrepreneurs were looking for him. They didn't want to just work with any social media marketing agency. They wanted to work with the conscious one. So I love that, first of all, because it's almost like showing people that we're not just working with anybody, but we're working with the ones that actually are badass, actually are spiritually in tune, and actually moving with speed and getting things done. So
yeah,
loving
absolutely. Because I think as well, you know, when it comes to sales, and I've done so much sales training and so much training of people in sales. And I think, you know, it's so important to be in integrity and in alignment with, like, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, who do I want to work with and who do I not want to work with, and having the integrity to actually go to certain people, which is hard, like when you're starting a business, right? Because you need money. You need money to eat, never mind, like, hey, you know, run the business and stuff. So I think we've all done it where we've maybe taken the wrong people. I certainly have had a couple of bad experiences with that. One of them nearly destroyed my business, and like I ended up in a legal situation with her, and she was crazy, this woman. But you know, when I look back, the red flags were there, you know, in the sales book, but it was like, oh, I'll be fine, you know. And it's interesting how that very much parallels actually with like dating and teaching people about dating, like thinking about the red flags and like, oh, it'll be okay. No, it won't. Like, just don't do it, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, being discerning, having integrity, and deciding, right? To be discerning and deciding, like, life is short. Like, we get one shot. Like, why would I want to hang out, work, where I spend the majority of my time with people who are victims, with people who are, like, not fully committed, not on board, not in alignment with my values, you know, and my intentions and my way of thinking, you know, because I think most of my clients today, I'm lucky, are just incredible people. And so for me, it doesn't feel like work. Work is like hanging out with friends. It's super fun. They show up ready, they take coaching, and they get great results. And it's so satisfying and it's so exciting. And we both get into this like energy together of like, yes, you know, and I get messages from them saying, yeah, I just signed up more clients, I made more money, and it's like, it's amazing, you know, it's just the best thing
Right.
to get these messages, as opposed to people who are like maybe not ready or just
Right.
on a different mindset, right? They're in a different state. They're in a different kind of like
Yeah.
state of unconsciousness, maybe. So, and this can all be really
It's almost
helpful.
it's almost like a higher level, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
And but I think it's just important for everyone to think about these things, right? And for people listening
Yeah.
to think about these things whether they're starting a business or they're in a business where it's like maybe they're attracting the wrong clients. I think sometimes we have to look at it ourselves and say, like, what is it that I'm not doing, or like, where are my standards too low, or like, where am I not speaking up, or, you know, making those hard decisions, you know what I mean? In terms of cut, like sometimes we have to cut people out as well, which can be hard. So, including clients, right? Not just
Right.
so.
And as we were brainstorming on this, we just thought that we wanted to even take it a step further, because we can really help people master their health, wealth, love, and happiness, and really optimize things for success. So I'll keep you tuned on what we ended up naming this company and how we wanted to create this thing.